Well, here we are, April the 8th, 2009, and welcome to global warming. Yeah, that's right. It's 10 after 7 in the morning on April the 8th, just north of Toronto, Canada. And this is what global warming looks like. Or should I say climate change? Yeah, it's changing all right. It's getting colder. Unfreaking believable. I mean, this is more proof. This is more anecdotal evidence that the planet is getting warmer overall. Now, I know some people will say, oh, well, you can't confuse weather and climate. This is not just one day. This is not just one fluky day. We've had a very cold winter. We had a very cold winter last year. We had an unusually cold winter the year before. Eventually, when does that become climate? I would say it becomes climate after you have about a week's worth of unusually cold temperatures. Weather is what happens day to day. Climate is what happens overall. And overall, it's getting colder. The only place where they say it's getting warmer, really, that they can get away with, is the poles. Because nobody lives at the poles. So they can say whatever they want. They can take a reading at the poles. We don't know if it's true or not because nobody lives there. They certainly cannot say it's getting warmer where people live, because where people live, it's actually not getting warmer. If anything, it's getting colder. CO2. I mean, this is the biggest fraud probably ever. I mean, think about it. It's wrong on every level. One, that CO2 causes warming, which it doesn't. Two, that man is producing the CO2, which he's not. And three, that even if the world was getting warmer, it's somehow bad for the environment. I mean, think about it. One, CO2 causes global warming. It doesn't. CO2 accounts for 0.02% of the greenhouse gases in the environment. And that's it. CO2 is not a big greenhouse gas. Water vapor is. That's why it's always hot in the summertime if it's humid. Because water vapor holds heat in. CO2 barely qualifies as a global warming catalyst. And then, of course, there's the other narrative, that man is producing this CO2. The fact is, he's producing a negligible amount of that 0.02%. Negligible amount. Nature produces CO2. Every time something decays in nature, it releases carbon. Volcanoes release carbon. Every time you breathe, you're releasing carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what makes plants green. How is it that carbon dioxide became the bad guy? It doesn't make any sense. Carbon dioxide is the fuel for everything that has photosynthesis. In other words, the entire green movement is predicated upon getting rid of the thing that makes things green. Trees grow with CO2. Now, sure, when they die, they release that CO2, but it just goes to show you it's just a cycle. And then, of course, ultimately, there's the irony of the green movement, which is that it's bad for the environment if the planet gets a degree warmer. So what does that mean? That means instead of it being -3 right now, on April the 9th, it'd be what? -2? Instead of it being, say, 29 degrees Celsius in the summer, it's going to be 30 degrees Celsius? Like, what does that mean for the environment? The environment doesn't care. As a matter of fact, nature prefers warmer to colder. I mean, think about it. The most diverse area of life on the planet is the rainforest, where it's 40 degrees. The least diverse area where you have life is the Arctic, or even more, the Antarctic. Cold, nature doesn't like, because cold cuts down on the amount of biological activity. If you increase temperature, you increase biological activity. This is why the rainforest is the rainforest, where there's thousands and thousands of different species. So what does the Green Movement want? They want the world to be 1 degree colder? That's going to help the environment? I don't get it. How does that jive? How does making the world 1 degree colder than it otherwise would be, how is that good for the environment? I mean, is this good? Do you see animals? Do you see birds? Do you see flowers? Look around you. You see snow, and it's April. That's supposed to be good or better? No, I mean, the whole thing is just a crock. Even if the world was getting warmer, and it's not, it's been getting colder for 10 years. Even if it was caused by CO2, which it's not, and even if man was the primary contributor for that CO2, which he's not, the whole thing is a fraud on all three accounts. But ultimately, what's 1 degree? I mean, even if we're going to assume that the Earth is getting warmer, and if it is, it's only getting warmer because of solar activity, which we're coming out of. That's why it's been getting colder for 10 years. Increased solar activity causes increased evaporation, that causes increased cloud cover, and that traps in more solar radiation. These are solar cycles. It has nothing to do with SUVs. You know, there was a time in Earth's history where we had so much more CO2 in the atmosphere than we have now. So much more. We're actually in a CO2 valley. And whatever CO2 there is in the atmosphere caused by nature, only a microscopic fraction is caused by human activity. And some of that human activity is simply breathing. What do they want us to do? Stop breathing? It's just such a crock. It is a complete, total crock. This is April the 9th, 2009, just north of Toronto. I had to shovel my driveway yesterday. I put away the snow shovel 3 weeks ago. I said, you know, this is going to be it. No more snow. Oh, we might get a light dusting. Maybe a light dusting, but then I'm going to shovel that. No, I had to shovel. There was a good 5 inches of snow. I had to shovel the sidewalk. Unfreaking believable. It was a very cold fall, very cold winter. And it's not just this year. It was the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. If there is climate change, it's normal. And it's getting colder, not warmer. I'm telling you, if I run into a greenie today, he's not going to be green for long. He's going to be black and blue.